my reach out to my program, I would support. There's a target. I'm going to ask you a question. What did I teach? If you tell me I learned a lot, you did not learn anything. So, and I'm also an alumni of UCLA and Techstars. So, we're going to go real quick. So, now how did I get here? How did this small boy for Maraba in Nasarawa State? I'm not ashamed to tell you where I started from. Man, you shouldn't be ashamed. It's part of your founder's story. How did I move from where I started from to this current stage? I was selling online. Sales came to me naturally. I knew how to make money. So I was generating sales on a day-to-day basis. But financial management, on the other hand, was very difficult. Because all my revenues were flowing into one account without any inbuilt structure, just like every business you know today. So in a glance, I couldn't tell this 1 million naira in my account right now. What percentage goes into savings? What percentage goes into taxes? What percentage is actually free for me to spend? I couldn't tell. So like most business owners would do, I relied on multiple spreadsheets and different bank accounts to manually allocate how much goes into my expenses or savings. It wasn't working. It almost killed my business. And I always found myself repeating this statement. I'm sure you've heard of it before. I don't know where my money is going to. Money just keeps coming and it keeps leaving. I don't know where my money is going to. That frustration drove me to go get a job in an accounting firm in taxes, certification, and revenue generation because I thought business wasn't my thing since it wasn't working. Despite my bachelor's degree in computer engineering. But I really wanted to learn this finance thing because it was stressing me out. So I took the extra step to becoming a student of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, what we all call ICANN. And that was when I started learning finance. And it dawned on me that, okay, I'm not the issue. The structure with which I was running my business was the issue. And that was what gave birth to my startup, which I'm building right now, Automating Financial. We literally automated the entire process from when the sale is made to when the time is spent. We'll go into all of that and I'll tell you how it works. So, the roots of the matter, we don't want to attack the fruits. I like to build up like a lawyer's solid foundation that will build the superstructure. The wrong way. How many of us have a startup? If you have a startup, can you also free publicity? You are streaming online. What's the name of the startup?
Limited Creative Hub.
Okay, Limited Creative Hub. Now, without thinking, can you tell me how long is your current runway? If no money comes in right now, no external investor, nobody gives you money, nothing, how long can your startup survive with what you currently have? Yes.
Okay. 2 years.
You sure about that? 2 years? It's not about 2 years. Tell me what you're doing. Okay. So, basically, what it means of runway, as like I said, I'm going to do basics. So businesses generate millions but still collapse. Others generate far less, but they survive and they grow. Why? Money doesn't really kill startup. What kills startup is a financial chaos. Financial chaos is what kills startup. I'm going to give you 2 examples. Startup A generates $200,000 per month in monthly recurring revenue. Burn rates $240,000 per month. On the surface, people are celebrating them. Oh, these guys are doing so well. They're generating about $200,000 per month. They're growing fast. These other guys in the second hand, they're generating $90,000 per month. Not even up to half of what these guys are working on. But their burn rate is currently $70,000 per month. They have a smaller team. They are more disciplined. Who's doing well? Startup A or startup B? B. Thank you so much for that. So, the VC reality, and after this session, I really want each and every one of us to go on the Techstars website. The co-founder of Techstars put together a course. It's called Venture Deals. There's also a book on it as well, Brazil. It will teach you everything you need to do, both from the founder's mindset and the VC's mindset. You know how VCs think and what they expect from you. So investors don't ask about your revenue. They really, even though some of them do, that's like the starting question. What they really care about is your burn rate and your capital efficiency. Because they've seen companies raise $20 million and still die in 18 months. Before I think about it, how can you raise $20 million and die in 18 months? Trust me, it's very possible. So, we're going to run through 5 pillars. Remember I said we're on the rocket ship. So, you need to hold on to me. Let's do this real quick. First one, you need to know your runway like oxygen. Like if I wake you up from sleep, what's your current runway? You should know it without calculating. So how do you know the runway? The formula is here. Your cash in bank divided by your monthly burn rate is your runway in months. So if you currently have $120,000 in your bank and you're currently burning $20,000 per month for your startup to be alive. So your burn rate includes salaries, Google credits, NEPA bills, data, everything you need for your startup to run efficiently. You currently have 6 months runway. The investor standard for most startups is 12 to 18 months runway after you raise. So the moment you make your first raise, buying a Lambo is not the first thing. Extending your runway is the first thing. Because founders who lose track of their runway lose negotiating power with investors. I think I was having a conversation with an investor not too long ago, and I was really calm about it. I was not under pressure. My friend, on the other hand, was really under pressure. The difference between me and him was I really invested into my runway. So the runway that I have from now till like the end of 2027, I'm not thinking about Google credits and many stuff. But he has just 2 months to go. So that is why people take bad deals. You sign bad deals. Then when you get to the end, maybe your exit, you make, let's say, $100 million, $200 million exit. Your name is everywhere in the news, people are celebrating you, but you did not get a dime. Because you were under pressure. Someone I respect so much told me, when you are hungry, don't negotiate because you just collect anything, right? So, why does this matter? Your runway buys you time, and time buys you survival. Remember when I told you that I was discussing with this investor, but I was not under pressure. I was not rude. You don't need to be rude, but there's this level of confidence when you know that you are sorted. Yes, you are now looking at them as a partner. You are not looking at them as a source of survival. That is what having enough runway does for you. Don't forget this comment. Cash in bank divided by your burn rate is your runway. So, next one, which is the pillar 2, allocation discipline. This is basically what my startup does. So for e-commerce entrepreneurs, I was really struggling with this. So what I built was a revenue control infrastructure that can help me structure and manage my finances while I'm sleeping. So if I make, let's say, 500K right now, what my startup automatically does is it splits. I don't need to do anything myself. Put 40% into operations, 25% into growth, 15% into tax reserve, 10% into founder profits, and 10% in reserve. This is what I spend. So I'm sure you've met uncles or people who you ask them, please can you help me with 10K? And you check their account, they literally have like 5 million or 10 million, and they tell you, the one I have, I can't spend. What they literally mean is, they have a certain amount that they set aside to give people. Once that is out, they are done. There's nothing you can say, they won't give you back. So this is, you can restructure this. I just use this as a template, right? Don't put all your money, and I think a lot of businesses in Nigeria right now are struggling with this. You see, somebody just made a deal. You were paid $5 million, $5 million or 10 million naira or whatever is sitting in your account. You are looking at it like this, and hear someone say, oh my God, money. Inside that money, you can't even tell how much is tax inside this money, how much is expenses, how much is savings, okay, how much goes back into my capital without relying heavily on spreadsheets. When I ask founders questions like that, most of them just start pulling out spreadsheets. They can't in a glance tell me this amount you are saying, this is for this is for this. This is why structuring is very, 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 very important. So every time we have should have a job before it arrives. Why is this important? If you don't have your money, Someone else to plan for it. Keep a straight face if I'm talking about it. Don't switch so people don't know that you're the one. Especially if you work in 9 to 5. Your family members know exactly when you receive the salary. The moment the money just comes in, you just receive a call. Oh, this person just fainted. It's 20,000. Oh, my roof just moved. He sent 15,000. Oh, my child is sick. He sent 20,000. And before you look at that, your entire salary is gone. You know why? You didn't plan for it. Yes, the family members don't like you, and some of them will say you're stingy, but there was a very painful scenario that happened where this man sponsored all of his brothers abroad. The school abroad in Canada, US, and everything. And the man fell sick and he died. So when all these people came back, it now dawned on them that the man was not really that rich. What he had was what he was just trying to support his brothers. And one of his brothers made a statement. He said, so uncle does not really have money like that, and he's just sending people abroad. This is part of the person they paid for to go study abroad. Why? He did not have any reserve. He was just spending everything he had. You can have a good mind to help people, but plan. So I crushed this into three because I really want us to move fast. Growth, run, cash flow. Three laws that separate survivors from right. So pillar 3, your burn rate is a weapon. Gross burn is your total monthly expenses. That's your gross burn. Your net burn is your expenses minus revenue. This is what VCs watch. This is what they watch. And you really need to know this. VCs care about your net burn, not your gross burn. You encounter this a lot when you start fundraising. They care about your net burn. The silent question they ask, the last money this founder raised, what did you do with it? That's why they think in terms of milestones. They don't think, okay, you raised $20 million. The last amount, what and what did you accomplish with it? That's what they think about this. Your answer can determine if you have this, what I'm calling capital efficiency, and that will affect your next raise, no matter how amazing your product is. Pillar 4, growth can hide weakness. And this is very true. Because the startup is growing 60% per month, everyone is celebrating you. Oh, this guy is doing so well. But behind the scene, your customer acquisition cost is rising. Let's say when you started, it cost you $50 to acquire a customer. Right now, it costs you $100. It's rising. But on the survey, it looks as if you are doing really well. Your margins are shrinking, and your support cost is climbing really fast. What's the result? Revenue is up, profit is down. And this is really, really common in SaaS. So I saw that there are groups of people working on different startups. If what you are working on falls under any of these segments, SaaS and e-commerce, you really have to pay attention to this. You really have to pay attention to this. It's very, very, very important. Because growth can come at mistake. You think you're really, 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 really doing well. But inside, you're not really doing so well. I'm sure many of us, especially startup founders a lot, people view you like this. But inside, you know you're like this. That's exactly what it means. They see you like, oh, this guy is up there. You can just buy like the next Maybach right now. But you know that I'm not really making any profit. That's the reason why you see there are companies right now that are worth $2 billion, $3 billion, and they are still not profitable. It's very possible. So pillar 5, cash flow beats profits every time. And why does this happen? Your company won't die if you don't have profit. Your company will die when you have no cash flow. Like I said, I gave an example of companies that are worth $3 billion, but they are still not profitable. But what do they have? They have constant cash flow. That is the difference between the woman outside selling buns and the salary and the 9 to 5. You can look down on her, but she has constant cash flow. Every day something is coming in, no matter how small. The 9 to 5 money comes in once a month. But that woman selling buns out there every day, no matter how small, 1,000, 1,500, 5K, that is what we call cash flow. She might not be profitable, but her business can never die because she has constant cash flow. And I just explained that. So, good. Now, I love this section. And the reason why I love this section so much is, you don't understand this thing because Most of my sessions are really one-on-one. It's psychological. Like I feel like a mentor. So once I sit down and get to like talk with people, a lot of founders deal with it a lot. I'll give you 3 different scenarios. Number one, hiring spike. You just raised $500,000. And immediately you just hired head of growth, marketing team, operations manager. You just started, you're already hiring ex-Paystack, ex-Flutterwave. This person built big invest from $1 million to $7 million in 2 weeks. You just started. You don't need, they are great, but you don't need them, especially if you are early, because one of the challenges you face, I'm telling you from experience, you face people that are really good at their work, but you can't tell them what to do. Now, I'm not saying you should be controlling. When I mean you can't tell them what to do, you're an early stage founder, you're moving really fast, you need to be very flexible. But you are working with people who are already established within the structure. So you see the growth manager you employed, or the head of marketing or operations manager, which you need to be brainstorming with time to time, she'll tell you plainly, sir, once it's 4 p.m., I'm done. I don't take work calls. It's not in my contract to resume. You said my working time is 9 to 5. If you call me by 7 p.m., I won't pick your call. It's not in a contract, and you can't force her to do that. You don't want that. People really want, at early stage, you want people that are in the trenches. When I started, I can call my engineer like 3 a.m. because I barely sleep. And I can just tell him, yo, I'm thinking about this. And it's like, okay, let's work on this. I've never called him, I doesn't. There are people you call. That's why I so much, when I looked at this group, the way people are working in groups here, I was so touched. I'm like, man, you have no idea what you're enjoying. Do you know what I passed through just to look for people to start? How many engineers you need to come to? You need, but now you have people that can brainstorm together for free. That was the reason why I said we should celebrate the organizers. This is really amazing. Come on now, celebrate things when I'm at school. Thank you. Yeah. What's the mistake this founder is making? He's scaling his team before scaling revenue. You just raised. Relax. Be very disciplined. Second scenario, I'll give you a personal example with this. Founder inflation. Startup revenue grows, founder upgrades lifestyle. New Bentley, new office, today is in the Bahamas, tomorrow is in Maldives. You know, by my privileged position as an ambassador and mentor in Dubai, I get the opportunity to meet CEOs and CTOs of multi-billion-dollar companies. And some of them, they are partly acquired by Uber for about 3.8 billion. So when I sit down with these people, I ask questions like, when you were my age, what were you doing? Where am I at? So past this stage. So how did you do this? How did you do this? He was trying to teach me this, but I didn't get it immediately because what he was saying, you will react when I say it. I don't say what it, I will tell you exactly. This is me being vulnerable. I can never say this online, but I see this as a family meeting, so I'm going to say this. He said, you have, because I was part of the people that will be like, how can you just raise and buying car, buying house, how can you? And he looked at me and said, Jeff, you have no idea what you are capable of until you have real money. And I looked at him and was like, what do you mean? I'm talking to you about startup and everything. He was trying to teach me this. And he said, yes, you are principled, I get it, but don't tell me you don't drink when you can't afford to buy any drink you want. I paused it. Then he told me another one. It's a little bit offensive, but don't be offensive. There's always part of the thing. He said, when you get to the level where you can sit down in your home in Abuja and send your private jets to pick a lady in Brazil and take her to Paris, and you go there and come back and nobody knows, and you don't do it, come and talk to me and say you are disciplined. And I'm like, why are you telling me all of this? And he repeated it again. He said, you have no idea what you are capable of until you have real money. Some people, the humility and everything they have, it's because they don't have money. When you have money, you'll be shocked. I was giving my friend an example. We're walking, which other day, she works in 9 to 5. And so we were working in my estate, and she just exceeded her salary. And she was, when we got to the gates, we were about to walk in, she said, oh, she's craving corn. And I said, you've been passing this place every day. You did not stop to buy this corn, you did not crave it. And I'm sure this has happened to you. But because you opened your phone and you saw alert now, automatically you're not craving corn. Exactly. There are things you like that you have no idea about. There are things you will do that will shock you to your bones when you have money. What's this mistake? Founder inflation, lifestyle, skills, people open a business, prove durability. So when he taught me this, because one of the things that happened to me, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity, is, you know, in Nigeria we have like $2 million, I feel like big boy. But when you go to Dubai, you see that $3 million is what somebody can spend on one car. You know that you actually don't have anything. So you will be, that's what your big boy will just calm down. Because you actually don't have anything. So when people that have been there, they can teach you anything. They can teach you marketing, they can teach you growth, they can teach you anything. But I've sat down with them time over time, and this is always the section they keep hitting on. They say this will kill your business faster than anything you can ever think of. Have the best products, have everything. If you don't work on this, and it starts from now, be deliberate. The next time money enters your account, watch what's the first thing you do with it. Don't wait till you have 10 million, 100K just enter by mistake. What's the next thing? Some people straight to Jeff Bezos restaurants. Straight. That's how you know. So you're not going to the level of splurging, but you now know that when money comes in, the first thing you do is spend. And you need to really deal with this from the roots. Scenario 3, 100% investment. This startup, they are very disciplined, right? But they reinvest every dollar, every revenue they make back into growth. Every time you make, you put it back into your business. You have nothing in reserve. This affected a lot of businesses during coronavirus, during the lockdown, COVID. Because they were putting everything back into the business, they had no reserve. So, ride-hailing companies like Uber, Bolt, in Dubai, they have Careem and the likes. They had to shut down and start laying people off. Reason is because many of them, some did have, I think I was listening to Franceschi from Airbnb, and they also did the same thing that they had to lay people off because the reserve they had was not enough to keep paying staff during the lockdown. This is very important. Now you can be generating, call it, $1 million every day. If you don't have a reserve, you're putting everything back into your account. If something happens to the business right now, it shuts down. What you have can sustain the business for a minimum of 6 to 12 months. This is very important. So, I'm done. I don't know what the rocket ship. So, well, at the finish line. One last question, right? And don't be rushed to answer. If your funding disappeared, answer this question. I really wanted to answer because you said you started the last 12 months. You're such a miracle worker. I wonder how you do it. If your startup, if your funding disappears tomorrow, will your startup survive? Process, not the rush. Not in the rush to answer. But we're out of time. We took time to listen. We're out of time. Just have 2 minutes left.
Okay, I will still say yes, it will survive because the problem I'm solving is what people actually need. In as much as, yeah, money is important, but at the same time, money is not always the only capital or the only asset.
Yes.
So if I could be able to help people solve their problem in their businesses, at the time, maybe they didn't pay me at that time. Yes. But I know that as time goes on, the fund will so it will survive. I'll say that.
So we'll close with this. venture capital is not a strategy. I see this all the time. Venture capital is not a strategy. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I will never raise the dime. I'll be strapped on my way. The reason is this: I don't know how to run after people. I don't know how to beg. If I want to talk to you about a business, I want to be in a position where, let's talk. I'm not outsourcing my survival to you. I think I wrote it here. Founders who depend entirely on external capital have outsourced their survival to someone else's position. So if I'm your VC and I'm backing you, the moment I say I'm not doing it here, your startup dies. That is why I'm a very big advocate of bootstrap. The amazing thing bootstrapping will do for you is to give a certain level of leverage and confidence. You can talk, you can negotiate, you are not under pressure. It's hard, it's difficult, but you are not under pressure. Also, another thing is a secret sauce. If you are here and you have a rich uncle, or you have the privilege of walking to your dad to say, oh, dad, I'm building this, give me money. And maybe he gives you like 1 million or 2 million. Don't put that entire money into your startup. A lot of VCs don't like this, but my mentor tells me this. Because if you put that entire money into your startup, it is called founder's contribution. The moment you raise, if you like, invest 500 million, every dime is gone. So what do? I open another different company, call it a shell company or whatever. And I use my company as my first angel investor. So every dime that comes into my startup comes through that company. What does that do for me in the long term? Number one, doing exits, you get to cash out twice as a founder. Founder's percentage, angel investor percentage. That's number one. Number two, they can't vote you out of the company because you give the investor, the angel investor, a board seat. Bootstrap will teach you a lot you have not done that. Because if you are quick, I see a lot of founders do this, ask them how much have you invested in your startup. So I invested up to 5, 10, 20 million. When you make money, you put it in your startup. The moment you do your first raise, maybe you are accepted into Techstars. I think Techstars take like 7% or so for 120K. I think they increase it to 220K now. Everything you've done up to that point is considered founder investment. It's gone, or founder contribution. But if you have a separate company and they ask you, say, oh, I've done my first round. And your first round doesn't basically mean you must raise 3 million once. If you have a business, let's say you have a job, your job is paying you 500K. You want to be putting 100,000 naira every month into your startup. Open a separate company. Carry that 100,000, put it in that company. Let the money flow from that company. So that company becomes your first angel investor. You have 2 majority voting rights. When you exit as a founder, you cash out twice. So even if you make a bad deal and investors collect everything and nothing gets to you as a founder, you have somewhere to get it. So, yeah. Last stop. This is the last time. 5 pillars will come through this. I already spoke about this, but please don't forget this, which is our major takeaway. Number 1, know your runway like oxygen. Cash divided by 1 is your runway. Maintain 12 to 18 months after every raise. Don't buy a car. It's very tempting. Don't buy a car. This happens a lot in Nigeria. You just posted it online. My startup just raised a pre-seed round of $2 million, and they're already calling you from village. Don't because I think you have money now. Don't do that. Work on this first. Number 2, separate growth money from survival money. Give every dime a job before it arrives. Number 3, your burn rate is your weapon. Track net burn. That's what investors care about. Number 4, growth can hide financial weakness. Reason is rising revenue demands rising customer acquisition cost. So it can be used so well in the surface, but at the back, not really in so well. And number 5, cash flow beats profit. So, like I said, we'll close with this. Revenue builds companies, but financial discipline builds empires. And you know why? Because the most dangerous phase of the startup, and this is very important, is not the early stage, it's the growth stage. Because growth, when you look at it, everything is working so well, creates the illusion that everything is working. You think everything is working so well, and trust me, I dealt with this a lot. On the surface, it looks as if I'm doing well, but check the financials, audit yourself. That's when you know you're not doing really good so well. So if you can track this, trust me, in the long run, you look for me and actually can. So thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate you. If you want to reach out to me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's talk. Like I said earlier before I started, if you think your startup has what it build and launch your company in Dubai, they basically give you $100,000 equity fee and you go in this 10 years. Reach out to me. Let's talk. But I'll ask you one question. What did I teach? If you tell me I learned a lot, you did not learn anything. So thank you so much. Yeah, before I get that, do you have any question? Any question? Feel free. Oh, you do? Okay. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. So just get down this things.
Okay, so as regards to the Dubai stuff you said, I know I was supposed to say, but just in case, let me just sit down there. So calm down. So yeah, you said yes, Dubai is tax free and more.
Yes.
So my question would be, if I want to do business with people in Dubai, I guess you have experience with doing business with people in Dubai, and they are saying tax free. So what are you gaining? I want to get your own. What's their, because nobody gives you anything for free now.
Most definitely.
Yes. So what is their returns? As someone that has done business with them, let's know. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just take this. One thing you need to really understand is how the people in the Middle East do business. They don't think short term like people in the US. They think long term. Think about, please, if you're full and your house and I'm not getting this right, correct me. You see where two maybe full and families will come together. Maybe this is for me, maybe a rich family or a rich family. Their children are still small. But they will say, oh, this one will marry this one. Then when both of them get to this place, this will put this one in governorship position. We'll put this one, so they plan everything long term. So what am I saying in essence? It's very attractive. When you get to Dubai, first of all, you must understand that there are two zones. There's the mainland and there's the free zone. Free zone is meant for foreigners, right? So when you get to Dubai, you set up your business in the free zone, tax free and all that. If you want to set up in the mainland, where we have the Palm Jumeirah, we have the Dubai Mall, the Burj Khalifa, and all of that, you have to partner with an Emirati. And this is the dicey part. The Emirati gets 51% of your business. If you want to work on the mainland, not on the free zone, you get. So they are not what Dubai is doing right now, and that's what they are doing with the Create App Championship and Accelerator Program, which I'm privileged to be an ambassador and mentor for. They are pulling talents to Dubai. And they have just one motto for Dubai to be the next biggest tech hub, bigger than Silicon Valley. You can see that the Crown Prince of Dubai was the one hosting the program where I'm an ambassador rather. He brought in Elon Musk, brought in all those people. They want Dubai to be the tech hub of the best and the best and the best of the people. And the funny thing is, they don't even care if you're, at this point, they don't care if you're white, black, purple, you're from the village. Are you good? Like really good. If you're really good, they will grab you with 2 hands and 2 legs. That's how they think. Because they are thinking the leverage and power. I said something during my session not too long ago. How my mentor was teaching me about power and leverage when you have real money. Real money to the Emiratis is when you get to the realms of $5 billion, $10 billion, not 100 million, 200 million. You get to a point where as a startup founder, you become a force. People like Elon Musk, when they sneeze, some people will catch cold. You become a force. You are no longer a backyard startup founder. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all those people. So that is what they are looking at. And those people are nations. They can make one decision and they can collapse an entire country just from their announcement. And that is what they want. They are really more into putting together the best and the best and the best and the best in one place. And that's Dubai. And that's why they have the Dubai Internet City. Did I answer the question? So, are we good? No other question, right? Oh, you have one? Okay, please. Very fast. Super fast.
Thank you very much for the session. That's quite a lot. I just wanted more clarity. You said that venture capital is not the strategy.
Yes.
And you advocate for strategy.
Yes.
That was, I didn't quite get.
Okay, this is basically what I mean. When people fall for this trap, have you ever applied for a job before when you didn't have any? Maybe you stayed home for like 9 months, you were not working. You've never, okay, you might not be able to wait. Some people here might be able to wait. If you stayed home for like 1 year, 2 years, you've never worked. You are just applying everywhere. When they finally call you for an interview, at that point you are under pressure to get the job because you don't want to remain jobless. And the reason that is so is because you don't have any other source of revenue coming in. VCs are not your friend, no matter how nice they are. Because how they work behind VCs, they have MPs who are limited partners, they have general partners. Some of them they are like equity firm, family funds. Some of these firms put together money from police officers, pension workers, and everything, right? Those people invest in them and they promise them that they are going to replicate their money. So they are looking for startups. That's why they'll tell you if your total addressable market is not like in billions, they don't want. Especially except for those who write small checks. They are not as friendly as they are not your friend. They are just connecting with you to make money. And if you doubt it, build your startup to the point where you've not raised any VC and you can stand confidently on your own. You'll be shocked that some people are running after VC, but when some people VC are running after them. I want to invest in a company, take this, and they're saying no. Because they're looking at it long term. Okay, this guy has proven founder market fit, product market fit, he's scaling his revenue, he's doing really well. This is a safe zone for us to put our money. If you run to VC fund, that is why I recommend going to the Techstars website. It's a 6 weeks course, venture deals. It will teach you 2 things. And I think the co-founder of Techstars, Brad Feld, did a solid job on that. He brought in the best VCs and everything. 6 weeks course is on the Techstars website. They will teach you as a founder how to look at both perspectives. If VC is not your friend, you will think how VCs think. You will know how VCs raise money. You will know what they do with the money. Some of them raised $100 million and they've given them a target. I think I was speaking with an investor and he told me he has been given a target from now till June to dispense $100 million, which means he's writing $1 million checks to 100 startups. That's why they have venture scouts, they have all these people going around looking for companies. So if you think VCs are just sitting down there with money, that's a bloody lie. They are looking for valuable business to put money in, but they want people that have already proven their business. If you go here and you've not proven your business, trust me, I say this with my full chest, you will make it bad. I was looking at a founder recently. He cashed out. I think he made an exit of over $250 million. I saw him on Instagram. And he said he was crying. He said he did not make a dime. But his face was on Reddit. His face was everywhere. He did not make $1. He did not make $1. all the erase is A, B, C, whatever. And how it works at exit, once that money comes, first things first, if you incurred debts or you took loans, all those stuff, you have to settle all those people first. Then you settle all your VCs, settle all those people. When the VC has carried everything, what is left is now yours. I love social media because nobody can lie anymore. You lie. One person will just sit down and just open his phone and check Google and know this guy's a bloody liar. Go and check the current equity. Jason Wang, CEO of NVIDIA, owns right now. As valuable as that company is, if that company exists today, the people that will cash out the most are VCs, the people that invested in the companies. He will collect like the list. I think his percentage is nearing around, last time I checked, around maybe 4-3%. From 100%, is nearing, and people say, that 4% can be still be in billions and billions of dollars. But if you look at it from the equity perspective, some VCs have up to 10, have up to 20. Imagine a company like NVIDIA, for example, sells with their current valuation. Who do you think will cash out the most? And you know, this thing does not really reflect, you don't really care about it, you sign any deal, give me money. It's when you exit, that's when you begin to cry. Because you don't realize I could have made so much more. I left my 9 to 5 to build this startup, but I just built another 9 to 5. Because all my life I worked for an investor. But if you bootstrap, I recommend bootstrapping till you start generating revenue. When you start generating revenue, trust me, there's a level of confidence when you start talking to investors. When they give you a percentage, let's say I'm going to invest $500,000 for 10%. You can counter it. No, I'm going to collect the $500,000 for 2.5%. You've already proven your business, but when you don't have anything, they see you as I'm doing you a favor. And some of them say like that, you've not done this, you've not done that, I'm just helping you because I believe in you. You get it. So does that answer the question?
Yeah, thank you.
So we're good, right? Okay, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for your patience. And one more time, before I come down, please celebrate the organizers. Celebrate the anchor as well. The man has not allowed me to shoot my left leg. Just celebrate him as well. Thank you so much. God bless you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can do far better than that. Please put your hands together for him. In layman's terms, do you know he has just done boardroom politics? That is what he has just shown you. You see what he's explaining to us? Founders get assassinated for these things. A founder that is becoming too rigid, too strong, the investors and the VCs will take him out. They will do anything to bring him down. Do you know how many founders have been taken away from their businesses like that? They just take him away. Many of them commit suicide because of this. And these informations are coming to us on the platform. Please, let's take initiative. Let's cash into it. You are not too small. Your product might be, say, a team of 5 persons. Start learning it, start knowing it, so that by the time you begin to scale, by the time you'll be able to bootstrap, you'll be able to talk to a VC with confidence like he explained. Are we together? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. To our partners, thank you. To every person who has participated, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually grinding to an end. This program in the next 24 hours should be rounding off. And it has been great. It has been wonderful bringing tech enthusiasts, tech mind, wonderful people, startup founders like each and every one of you, putting us together in one space over a period of 5 days is not easy to achieve. It is great you took time out of your very busy and tight schedule to be here. We appreciate you. Thank you. A round of applause for yourselves. A round of applause for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so refresh your memories. We did do this alone. We are Coding Playground, and you know what we are into. And this is a Techstars event organized in collaboration with Techstars. We sent our proposal